Welcome to the fourth episode of Rontro, Class of Retro. Welcome everybody to another episode. Today we are reviewing the run and gun game Contra for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This game was developed and published by Konami. This game was originally released in the arcade back in 1987, but seen home console releases in Japan February 9th, 1988 on the Famicom, and then in North America February 22nd, 1988, and Europe December 28th, 1990 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. The gameplay in this game was amazing, but it was definitely one of the hardest games on the Nintendo. So much so that IGN named it the toughest game to beat. This game was released to great reception. Nintendo Power ranked Contra the 7th best and called it one of the best multiplayer games on the Nintendo. This game is a lot of fun, but hard as nails. You have 3 lives, and if you get hit once, you die. But if you enter the Konami code at the title screen, you would have 30 lives to complete the game. Let's talk about the plot. Contra takes place in 2633. The evil Red Falcon organization have set a base on an island near New Zealand in a plot to conquer the world. Private First Class Bill Rizzer and Private First Class Lance Bean of the Contra unit, an elite group of soldiers specializing in guerrilla warfare, are sent to the island to destroy the enemy forces and uncover the true nature of the alien entity controlling them. I always thought Bill Mad Dog Rizzer and Lance Scorpion Bean bore a striking resemblance to a couple movie stars we all know. Even though the Nintendo port didn't look nearly as good as it did in the arcade, the graphics were still really well done. They used a lot of vibrant colors, making this game look beautiful. The music was also really awesome, and I still find myself listening to the soundtrack outside of playing the game. Here's a little factoid for you. The arcade version of Contra was released on February 1987, a few months after the Iran-Contra affair was made public. While it is unclear whether the game was deliberately named after the Nicaraguan Contra rebels, the ending theme of the original game was titled Sandinista. Why does this game feel like it's filled with movie references? In Contra, no one can hear you scream. In Europe, this game was released under the name Probotector. But instead of being Mad Dog and Scorpion, you fight your way through this game as robots. So I want to take a minute and reflect back on a memory I have of this game. It was the holiday season of 2004. I was at the mall about 25 minutes from where I lived at the time, and there was kiosks set up in the middle of the walkways of the mall like it was every holiday season, and one caught my eye. This guy was selling aftermarket consoles. I just have to say, this thing was pretty strange, and you'll see why. Yeah, this thing looked like a penguin. I'm not even kidding. I remember the cartridge was yellow and fit in the back of the penguin. So I walk up to the kiosk, and the guy has one of these things plugged into a TV. He says if I would like to check it out, I could play. So I was looking through the games. There was many NES games on it, a couple Sega games I'm pretty sure, and I noticed that Contra was on it. So I was like, yeah, I could play myself some Contra. Couldn't believe how well I was playing. I actually managed to make it to the waterfall level before I actually died. Too bad when I was doing the review, I wasn't doing so well. But anyway, after that, it was smooth sailing for a little while. I actually started having a gathering of people around me watching me play through this. I actually managed to get to the last level, the alien level, before I got a game over. Tell you what though, I haven't been able to do something like that since. If you've never played Contra, I highly suggest you hunt down a copy, grab a friend, and play it together. It is a lot more fun that way. I give this game a score of 9 out of 10. The reason being is because the NES graphics don't look nearly as good as they do in the arcade, but it doesn't take away the fun factor. That about does it for this review. If you'd like to leave any suggestions or comments, please do so. Please subscribe. Stay tuned after the credits for a quick tip. I'm your host, Rontro, and this has been Rontro, the class of retro. Here's a quick tip. If you enter the Konami code on the title screen, you will begin the game with 30 lives.